Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today I'm going to do another review of one of my favourite models possibly on the layout, which is the Kato TGV Lyria Euroduplex in the latest livery, which runs between France and Switzerland on a daily basis. I've had this model for, I don't know, probably most of the year now. Been wanting to do a review for quite some time, but just haven't really had time to do it. So finally got round to it. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let's dive straight into the review. As with all Kato products, they come really nicely packaged. It's a lovely sort of book set. So I'll just show you how that works. You get two nice books here. Lovely book sets. Just move those out of the way. There we go. Two book sets featuring each half of the train. You've got these nice little attachments here, just hold the thing together, and there we are. Nice little booklet with spare parts and a little bit of information about the prototype, and then as you can see here, just really nicely packaged, very well presented, as you'd expect anything from Kato. Really nice. And then second book set there, just looks really nice as well. Just makes you want, almost makes you not want to take it out of the box. It just looks so good. But let's crack on with the review. I'll talk to you a little bit more in detail about this lovely TGV, and then we'll do some running on the layout as well. So what I've decided to do is take some photos of each of the individual coaches to show you a little bit more in detail how they look, but also I think it's much nicer than trying to run the camera around it for you. So I've taken some nice photos, hopefully some nice photos in my light box. So first up here, we've got the end second class coach. As you'll notice, on each of the coaches, the livery is very nicely printed and applied, as is the little details like the second class logos as well. In fact, every single coach is absolutely spot on livery wise. So I've got to say, livery application on this model is near on perfect. So then we've got the second class mid coach. We have 3 of those in the box. Then we have the buffet coach, again, beautifully printed artwork on the side with the Paris, Geneva, Lausanne, Zurich and Basel names on there. Just on a close-up, they just look really good. Very finely printed, as you'd expect from Kato. And then the last 2 coaches that we have the first class mid coach, and then we've got the end first class coach as well. As you'll see here with the intermediary couplings, obviously the unit's an articulated unit. The really neat coach couplings, which actually have a little bit of flexibility on the end, so when you're pulling them apart they flex a little bit just so they don't break or have a tendency to break like the original Kato TGVs, which the actual hooks tended to snap off, which wasn't great. Obviously it didn't happen to me, but I know some people who have had them snap, and they're quite difficult to replace. Also, something really nice as well with the current couplings is that the coaches really close up, beautifully close together, which is nice. Obviously not quite so great for the very tight corners on people's layouts if you have them, but certainly really nice for as an aesthetic look when they're running around the layout. And as you can see here, certainly much closer than some of the original TGVs which I have, where there's quite a gap. Hopefully one day I'll work out how to close the gap a bit more on these older models. Whilst we're on the subject of couplings, the end coach 2 power car couplings hook up really, really nicely, and very simple, not too fiddly like some of them, but certainly better than my Arnold Cisalpino units. These couple and uncouple really nicely, but when they are coupled up, they really stay intact and don't come away, which is always nice. Just one more thing on couplings. If you're looking to have two of these sets running together, the pack also features a end coupling which you can add yourself. The front end of the model of the nose just clips off really simply to reveal a little hatch with like a anchor point, and then the coupling just clips in to this model and then obviously onto any other TGV that features this, and then you can run a 20 car set if you want to, or a 16 car set, depending on which models you have. There's also a blanking chip as well within this pack of spare parts to turn the lights off, so that you don't have lights running in between two sets when they're running together. So it looks much more prototypical. The set also features head and tail directional lights as well, just whilst all that, and they're also DCC ready. So yeah, I've taken some photos here. It does look pretty good. Even at slow speeds, the lights come on a DC layout quite nicely, and they're quite bright too. So if you're running DC, it still looks really, really nice. Moving on to some of the finer details, just looking at the loco bogies, certainly plenty of crisply moulded detail here. In fact, all the bogies, even on the articulated bogies between each of the coaches, really, really finely done, very, very nicely represented. One thing I would have liked here on the loco bogie would have been some continuation of the steps down from the door. Nothing too crazy, but would have been nice to have that modelled. But I suppose when the model's whizzing around the layout, you probably wouldn't notice it, but it's nice to know it's there. Similarly with the moulded windscreen wiper on the front window as well. You'd think the manufacturers now, I think some of them are actually moving away from moulded versions and adding etched brass versions. This would probably increase the cost quite substantially on this model, but it would be a nice feature to have. I think Fleischmann has started adding these as separate items. I think Pico have done it as well on one or two of their newer N-gauge locos. So hopefully something for the future that Kato might consider to do, and add those little extra details on there. Moving up to the pantograph well, this again beautifully modelled and represented. There's not a huge amount in the well on the prototype anyways. There's not a huge amount of work to put in there, but it's certainly nicely represented. And one thing I do love about the pantographs, again, like some of the other older Kato TGVs I have and some of the other models I have on the layout, the pantographs are posable. So it's really, really easily just to, with a very small screwdriver, just to elevate the pantograph and then just drop it back down again very carefully so as not to break it. But certainly if you have a layout with maybe some overhead wires, or you're modelling the catenary posts only and you want to just have the pantographs just up a little bit, it's a nice feature compared to the sprung ones, which are either right up in the sky or down flat on the top of the loco. But yeah, I really do. I like these podal pantographs. I think they're a great idea. So how does it run? Well, it runs perfectly, absolutely faultless, straight out the box. Now, I've had this set for probably about, most of the year now. I bought it at the beginning of the year, and although I've run it a few times already, it does run absolutely perfectly out of the box. As you can see here, faultless running, even at slow speed as well. So I've realised I've actually put no sugar in my tea. I'll have to go and do that in a minute. So in conclusion, another fantastic model from Kato. Superb detail, runs beautifully out of the box as you'd expect from any Kato model. And yeah, so if you're thinking about potentially getting one of these for your own layout, I'd certainly say go ahead and buy one. I mean, they are really, really nice. They're well worth the money. I think a 10-car train for a few £100 is pretty decent, really, to be honest. So do look out for my next layout update. That will be dropping in a few weeks' time. I've made some more progress on my scratch built project. So I'll be posting a little bit more about that in the next couple of weeks. So do look out for that coming on YouTube. Well, thank you so much for watching and tuning in today. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. It's free. Any comments, please leave them. We're really happy to receive any comments. Or if you guys have got one of these and you've got a few things you want to say about them, please do leave a comment down below. In the meantime, happy modelling, have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.